Hello everyone and welcome to the official SWGT YouTube channel. My name is Rusa. It's officially SWGT's 5th birthday and I can't believe it's already been 5 years. It's been another amazing year, and so first off I'd like to start by saying a special thank you to everyone who's used the platform and supports the platform over the past 5 years. It's been an absolute honor to run this platform for everyone and work with so many amazing people around the world. Your feedback has really helped shape SWGT to what it is today. I wanted to share some health information about the platform. I get people that ask me from time to time how things are going, and so I'm pleased to say that SWGT is very healthy and still going strong. Subscriptions continue to grow month over month, and SWGT proudly serves over 30,000 players worldwide. And there is, of course, plenty more to come. I have a full project board of ideas, and so stay tuned for updates. But for right now, let's take a look at 6.13.0 through 6.15.0. As promised, before I start reviewing all the updates, I wanted to share some graphs of how SWGT is doing today. And so on the left-hand side is subscriptions for SWGT Guild, and on the right-hand side is subscriptions for SWGT Personal. Up on top, it is the graphs for the last 6 months, and the bottom graphs are for all time. So as you can see, everything is going really well. Things are very healthy. The first update today takes us over to our live siege battles, and I actually went through and added in the number of players, the total score, and then the number of attacks that they've made, as well as the monsters that they've used. So that was something that somebody had requested for quite a while, and I figured out a way to make it work. So it should make the live siege maps a whole lot more interesting. Next on the list, if we go over to account analytics and we go to account summary, there was an issue with some of the donut graphs under some random conditions. And so I have gone through and made those bug fixes as well. If we jump over to the speed tick backup calculator, there was a bug on the boss monsters. If we scroll on down to the boss monsters at the bottom, it was including the word null in front of all of the boss monsters. So I have gone through and made that fix. While we're here, I've also gone through and added all of dimensional hole boss monsters. Now that we have all of the speeds for all of the bosses, which we'll be talking about here in just a hot second, I have gone through and added those to the speed tick calculator. While we're talking about boss monsters, if you go under the tools menu, the dungeon drop analysis has been renamed to dungeon analysis. And so if we go here and we run this for, let's say, on Giant's Keep Abyss Hard, you'll notice that now we have all of the waves and all the speeds and all of the stats of all the monsters. So this is a brand new feature. I have been working on this now for almost 2.5 weeks to get all these stats mapped out and all these new packets. And I actually had to go through and do 103 runs for all the boss monsters and all of the stages that SWGT is currently supporting. The only caveat here is that the Rift is still not available, as well as the R5. Unfortunately, those packets are still encrypted. I have not been able to get CompTOS to unencrypt those to a point where they're actually useful. And that actually is a little bit of news that I'm spilling there. I have actually been working with CompTOS over the past, I'd say, 3.5 weeks now, and they have been so gracious to work on 2 things specifically for me. One of them was to no longer encrypt the packets for all of the dungeon starts. And that's where we got all of these new stats, which is fantastic. And then the second request is up and coming for the leaderboards, and that'll be not only on Siege but on World Guild Battles. But they actually added in the server into all of the data packets, so that's going to allow me to finally separate out. If we go onto the leaderboards, it's going to allow me to actually separate out Asia and China and Japan and Korea onto their own servers finally. So. That's a much bigger update. It's a data nightmare. I am not sure if those servers are going to survive the leaderboard history. I need to really go through and figure out how to remap all of it, because right now, technically it's using time zone, but now it has to go over to server ID. So technically all of the data elements have to be remapped for the tens of thousands of data elements per week. I have to go through and remap all of those to the new server IDs if they exist, try and find it, based on server, based on battles and everything else. So I don't know. It's going to be another big project, but it's something that will be coming later on. I did go through, of course, and do all of the upgrades for the collaboration monsters for the Demon Slayer. So you'll see that all of them now have the slash, so you can see both versions of it. This continues to be a thing that I tell CompTOS that they really need to fix. I think it's really clunky and really not good that they have the same monster twice with the exact same skills. It really is confusing to a lot of players. I also don't like any of the new monster names for on the collab for Demon Slayer. They renamed a whole bunch of these monsters and they're just really hard to remember, and players really don't like it. So I don't know. I'm hoping CompTOS will really come to their senses as far as monsters go. It would be really great if there was just the one monster, and then you can get the special transmog specifically during the event, and they go through and flatten out all the other collabs, so that way you only have to worry about one monster, and that monster has a special skin. And if you had that skin, of course, it makes all of the things look fancy and of course wonderful. But you can only get that skin specifically during the actual collab event. It would make everybody's life a whole lot easier as far as monsters and as far as siege planning and everything else, as well as on my side too, that I don't have to go through and manually map out all these things and then run crazy conversion jobs and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's a longer story for a different day. While we are here, let's take a look at, if we go to 3MDC search and we go to search by list, I did move this arrow from the right-hand side over to the left-hand side. Somebody had made a mention that, in general, my standard has always been icon and then the monster name, which I do technically do everywhere. And so it just makes a lot more sense to have it, to basically go through and follow that standard everywhere. For those that have a muscle memory of having it on the right-hand side, I'm sorry. Of course, you can still click on the actual drop-down. You don't have to click on the arrow. It does, of course, give you the overall same functionality. There was an issue with jumping to the account summary from anywhere else. So if, for instance, you're under account analytics and you're under, let's say, your monsters, and you had picked another player, for instance, and you wanted to go to your account summary, it wouldn't actually keep that player that you have gone through and selected. It would actually just jump to the first one in your list. And last but certainly not least, I did make the exact same change for the maps, having all of the numbers and all of the actual number of hits and monsters and the number of players. I did go through and of course add that on the SWGT guild side as well. And that's it for today. I just wanted to say a thank you to all the Patreon members who subscribe to SWGT and to all the people that constantly give feedback about the platform. It's only through your support and efforts that SWGT is what it is today. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. We all make SWGT better together. And with that, don't forget to smash those like buttons, and I'll see all of you on the battlefield.